Okay, we're back, and like I said before, these next two matches will determine, will determine people that will qualify for the final match for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. This is the title that is being brought back, one of the two that is being brought back with the NWA. It's been along for a while, but of course, with when all the territories were terminated with their licenses and such, that vacated a lot of championships, including the World Junior Heavyweight title, the North American title, the National title, and the World Tag titles. And we assumed the Women's title, but we'll get to that in a little bit. As well as all of the territorial titles, like, for example, say, if a Florida territory had the Florida Heavyweight title, that would be gone. If Tennessee had an NWA promotion again, that was to be gone. Which, for Smoky Mountain, all those titles were gone. For a lot of the Texas promotions, all those titles were gone. For a lot of promotions across the board, were gone. And it became not a governing... Well, like I said, it's a gray area because the NWA technically still is a governing body, but it doesn't have the territorial system like it used to. But with that, the National Heavyweight title, just for those unaware, has had some champions over the past few years over the names like the original, the senior Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, the great Tully Blanchard, Doug Gilbert, Brad Armstrong, Gunner before he was Gunner, and several other men, including Hernandez, the Man of Stone, Ron Garvin, and several others as well. But this is the revival of the way, and this is how they're going to do it. A 2-match Fatal 4-Way tournament, where the winner, and there will be elimination, by the way. The winner of those matches will be in the final match later in the night to determine the new National Heavyweight Champion. And those 2 matches will go one by one. First off, it'll be Willie Mack versus Jay Bradley versus Mike Pero versus Ricky Starks. And in the other match, Colt Cabana, a former world champion in his own right, versus Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky versus Sam Shaw. I'm more interested in that match than the other one. And I will say why. Because I normally don't pick these kind of matches, but I will pick Willie Mack versus Scorpio Sky. And if that were to happen, I would pick Willie Mack as the new National Heavyweight Champion. But of course, we have to play devil's advocate on this. If Colt Cabana wins, it would be Mack versus Colt, and I would feel Colt would win that one. If Bradley won somehow, and say Sam Shaw pulled off the upset here, I would say Bradley wins this. If any other of the people win, it's a crapshoot, in my opinion. But with that being said, it'll be a great night for that. Now, the Women's Championship, as the current champion Jazz will defend against Penelope Ford. We saw Ford on the All In show as well. Managing Joey Janela in a match against Hangman Page. And we got to see a little bit of what Ford could do as well in that match. But, of course, the Women's Championship has been held by people like the Fabulous Moolah. I made Awesome Kong before she was Awesome Kong. Mischief. Barbie Hayden, Leilani Kai, Malaya Hasaka, and many others. And, of course, Moolah has probably held it for 30 fucking years, so... to where her face was on the fucking belt for the longest time. But nonetheless, it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic of old versus new. Jazz being a former WWE Women's Champion, and currently the World's Women's Champion of the NWA. And Ford not being an unknown, but I've only seen her personally as a manager. And seen her sparingly in matches here and there. So I will pick Jazz to retain. But it would be a great launching point for Ford to win and pull off what would be the biggest win of her career. And finally, for the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship in a traditional NWA World's title match, which will be 2 out of 3 falls with a 60-minute time limit. Or, at that point, maybe an expiration of time, depending on how long they want this show to go. The NWA World Heavyweight Champion, as well as the New Japan IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, will defend against the former champion Nick Aldis. Now, the United States Championship will not be on the line, but the more important title will. And like I said, this is back in the day of the traditional NWA World title, where it was usually defended in a 60-minute Broadway or 2 out of 3 falls, whatever happened first. Most of the time it would go Broadway, to where, say, for example, a Flair or Sting or someone of that era, or a Harley Race, or many others, would be the traveling champion, going Broadway with the star, and making them look good, but ultimately leaving with the gold. With that being said, I don't see this going Broadway. I don't see this going to a draw. I see Cody retaining by any means necessary to retain the title and bring the NWA into a new era. And with that, this will be a great show. This will be a great night of wrestling. This will be a great night for the NWA. Again, sort of a launching point for the NWA once again. It's been a while since we had an anniversary show, and it will be great to see this happen. But at the end of the day, this is one of the things that makes tradition great again. That makes professional wrestling what it used to be. And that is just awesome in my book.